In offices all over the world, meetings just like this one are going on. Meetings to set priorities, meetings to plan projects, and increasingly, meetings to find ways to cut costs and work more efficiently. It's ironic, isn't it? Because sitting in these same meetings, thieves are at work. I call them meeting robbers. So, what are they stealing? Oh, time, money, company resources, and not in a small way either, but to the tune of millions of dollars every year. So how come these crimes go unreported? Well, first, you've got to be able to identify the culprits.
Now, I've done this gap analysis on our competitors' production quotas and ours. This first sequence begins with a galactic overview of our average process time.
First is the show-off. This meeting robber loves to be clever, which is too bad because their ideas are often good, except those ideas usually get lost behind all the special effects.
Now, our own D5 is over an hour, despite our automatic feed line, which I will illustrate later. Now, this next screen,
the result? The show-off steals your meeting's time, momentum, and very sense of purpose.
Which really just factors in the exponential nature of these figures.
By any chance, Sam, are you a Trekkie?
Yeah. How did you know?
Just a guess.
Now, as we transition to the next screen, you can clearly see that our own Omega line is falling behind.
Point of information.
Yes, Dorothy?
As usual, when we get past the flying hoo-has and the colored doodahs, Sam has missed the point. I don't consider those...
Next is the critic. They're critical of everyone else's ideas. But what the critic steals is one of the company's most precious resources, people's creativity.
One part of the process would be finding the companies that are truly our competition. Otherwise, this benchmarking business just won't work.
If you give me a chance, Dorothy, I was about to address that. These other companies shed light on our own operations because of their similar product line and their internal structure. Hey!
Point of order. I have the floor.
Okay. Look, now before we go any further, Dorothy, why don't we... Leslie, do you have those order fulfillment printouts we talked about?
Let me see.
Then there's the assignment misser. Since their assignment is often an integral part of the meeting in the first place, what this robber steals is the entire meeting.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bob. I just got really tied up with that Del Vecchio shipment.
The Del Vecchios? Do you know that they're starting a whole new line of recyclable industrial products? I guess Mr. Del Vecchio went to Brazil for that Earth conference. While he was there...
Meet the Rambler. Meetings are always difficult to keep on track, but with the Rambler, anything and everything becomes pertinent to the topic at hand, which is a good way to derail your meeting's train of thought.
Everything gets recycled. Now, I know we're not Indians, but doesn't it make sense? I hear that the Vecchio's sales are way up mostly because of this new line of earth-friendly products.
The Whisperers are always ready to share ideas with one another, privately. This robs the meeting of new input. Worse, it isolates other meeting members, undercutting their team spirit.
Did you want to say something, Karen?
Me? Not really. But you know, we haven't heard a lot from Steve yet, and he is one of our top salespeople. What do you think, Steve?
Well, I appreciate that, Karen. And you know, I love you people down in finance. But I want you to buy into a slightly different perspective. Now, this benchmark...
The superseller is a productive, motivated worker out in the field. But in a meeting, they may forget when to stop selling.
Case in point, I was on a sales call out at General Hydraulics. Now, I knew they were a qualified buyer, so I summarized the benefits, not the features. We all know there's an important distinction.
Steve, I'm going to have to interrupt you. I'm sorry, but we're a little short on time. I will note that you want to emphasize sales strategy, though. Okay.
Those crazy Del Vecchios. I hear they're starting a fund for the sayonara.
It seems to me that finance department and scapegoat are interchangeable.
Can I please continue? I have 16 more screens. I put a lot
One
of
last
time
meeting robber, the one who called the meeting and allowed it to get out of control, wasting everyone's time, energy, and productivity. Call this one the meeting leader. Hi.
Hello.
Hey. What's wrong? How did your meeting go?
It went.
That bad, huh?
The Titanic had better luck. 7 of us sat there for 5 hours and nothing really got done.
Well, sounds like you were robbed.
Come again?
Well, 7 times 5 is 35. That's 35 work hours shot. Probably meeting robbers.
Meeting robbers sounds like industrial espionage.
Pretty close. Meeting robbers may be the best intentioned employees, but somehow they manage to keep a meeting from going where it's supposed to. So, where was your meeting supposed to go?
Well, you know I'm the task leader on that benchmarking review. So I got together representatives from the different departments, you know, a meeting.
Oh, impromptu.
Yeah.
Sort of spur of the moment.
Yeah.
Kind of like a traffic accident.
Yeah. What? You know you're right. I mean, what a waste of time. That does it. I'm going to call a meeting and cancel all further meetings.
Oh, hold on a second, Bob. Meetings are essential. They get people working together, they stimulate new ideas, they help communication.
Okay, but what am I supposed to do to keep my meeting from getting robbed? I mean, our security guard?
Well, when someone is leading a meeting, they really need to be their own security guard. The best strategy is not to allow the opportunity to steal in the first place.
So, what do I do?
Well, start seeing meetings as what they really are, phantom investments. Hey, do you think we should go ahead and get that computer Sam wants the company to buy?
Oh, gee. You know, I think we should go real slow on that. Those things are expensive.
Right, and so are meetings. Think about it. When a meeting is called at a moment's notice and then gets dragged on for hours, with all the money wasted and lost work and productivity, why, the company could have bought several computers.
Yeah, you're right about that.
The point is, like any other investment the company makes, meetings should be managed wisely and carefully from the very beginning.
This is very strange.
They couldn't all be late.
A meeting should be a last resort. You call a meeting only when there is no better, less expensive way to get a particular job done.
Oh, here he is.
Hi, you guys.
All right, here are those suggestions you asked for.
Oh, thanks.
For instance, take the gathering of information.
This looks good.
Where is everyone? Aren't we going to meet?
Not today, but I'll talk to you later. Hey, Sam. Come on in.
Sorry I'm a little late with this data, Bob. I had a general protection fault I just couldn't figure out. By the way, when are we going to meet on these ideas? Got to line up some extra gigs for my presentation.
Well, we're not, Sam. See, all I needed were a few suggestions on some problem areas that needed addressing. I could call a meeting, but why should I? This is the most direct, least expensive way to get everybody's input.
Bob, if you don't call a meeting, what is everybody going to do?
Work.
Cool.
If you want to give out information, sometimes that too can be handled effectively without a meeting.
I'm getting an email from Bob. What is with him? We haven't had a meeting in days.
Yeah, well, I got your email. I was thinking with all the different variables, it could be difficult to get true readings on efficiency levels.
Okay. Well, you might try this.
Or
Sometimes it
maybe
helps
all
to
you
know
need
what
is a little old-fashioned one-on-one with key team members, a non-meeting, so to speak.
Should be able to help you.
Yeah, I'll try that. Thanks.
Okay.
We're already working at capacity and financing. It just takes time.
Too much time. As far as I'm concerned, our biggest problem lies in how long it takes to approve credit.
It doesn't take that long.
2 weeks?
Steve, even if we are able to speed up the process, we both know that production couldn't keep up. Or fulfillment, for that matter.
How do you know they
Sometimes
can't keep up?
there will be a
Listen,
clear need
all
for
I
the
know
team
is that
members
for
to
some
search
reason,
for
finance
creative
is always
solutions
lagging behind
together.
everyone else. Well, what's the reason?
Pointing a finger at finance isn't going to solve this problem.
Can I interject here? You're right about that, Dorothy. I think it's time to get the team together again and figure this thing out, huh?
Sounds good to me, Bob.
A meeting? Why not?
Once you've determined you actually need a meeting, you need to plan for it. It's important to establish an agenda. What's the primary purpose of the meeting? Also, it's helpful to determine a timeline or schedule for the meeting. Meetings are made, not born. Considerable preparation is needed if the meeting itself is to be successful. It's crucial to assemble all the necessary data beforehand.
Well, I just wanted to check over a few things before tomorrow's meeting.
Sure.
Do you have that analysis on the line reworking we did last year?
Right here.
Great. How about last year's production figures?
Okay. Oops.
Leslie, if our meeting goes on without those production figures, it'll do just that, go on and on.
I remember you asking me to get them, but...
Before the meeting is also the time to arrest the first meeting robber. By checking with the assignment misser in advance, you make sure that the information you need for your meeting will be ready.
I can get those together, Bob. Don't worry.
You need to let me know if there's a problem.
Sure, I will.
Okay. I'll see you later.
Once you've done your homework, you're ready to call your meeting. Pick a time when the right resources and the right people can be combined to get the job done.
So far, the benchmarking process has shown the relationship between sales and finance to be a key area that needs some working on. I'd like for us to
Every
focus
meeting
on
should
that.
begin with a set of clearly
Also, by
stated
the end of this
objectives.
meeting, I'd like to
These
say
should
how
be
to
spelled
revise
out
time.
in advance of the meeting itself.
You all got the objective statement for the meeting?
Sure, we're gonna hash over the same old, same old.
And with the pastries, you're going to sweeten up the relationship between sales and finance, right?
Not exactly. Dorothy, we could hash over forever. And Steve, sweeten up is not exactly what I had in mind. As task leader on this project, I want us to focus on something a little more specific.
If you want your meeting to get results, your objectives should be results-oriented, emphasizing the outcome you intend from your meeting.
Now, I hope that answers why we're here and what's expected of us.
Excuse me, Bob. Where are Karen and Jason?
Well, this meeting doesn't concern them, Tony, and besides, we can't afford to waste their time. You know, we got everybody we need to get the job done.
Having focused objectives clarifies who will attend. Ask who has to attend to make the meeting work. Remember, as the number of people goes down, efficiency often goes up.
So, the first area we need to address is the overall process time. Now, I'd like Tony to start things off. He's really got some good ideas. Tony?
Thanks, Bob. Well, I guess we all want to do things quickly. My brother and I used to time everything we did. Making our beds, feeding the cat.
Everyone needs to have a chance to contribute ideas. But as the meeting leader, it's your responsibility to decide which ideas are useful and which are not, and to be able to direct attention to the subject at hand.
Learn from what our own suppliers are doing. I deal with a lot of forms. Simple ones, really confusing ones.
Excuse me, Tony, are you leading up to suggesting a simplified credit application?
Well, yes. Skycom's credit apps are similar to ours. I think we should do what they did. Delete some of the questions about previous accounts and some of the reference data. If we do that, I think we can reduce the app to a page and a half. What do you think?
I like it.
Okay, now check this out. I've been tracking finance's response time to sales requests for assistance on credit apps. And what I've discovered is quite illuminating. It takes an average of 1.7 hours for a rep in the field to reach someone in finance.
In some meetings, Audio-visual aids can help a great deal in communicating information and statistics. However, the technology can also short-circuit your meeting's momentum, especially if what you really want are ideas.
Now, if we look at our next screen, we can see that I've cross-referenced our credit app approval times with customer satisfaction surveys. Bob?
Sam, we all appreciate the time you've put into the graphics. But what I'm really interested in are your ideas. What have you got?
Well, for one thing, you can set up a direct line so that salespeople could call in and talk to a real person instead of always getting voicemail.
Not bad. Not bad at all. But who's going to be answering that direct line?
Well, maybe we could rotate among the finance people in 2-hour shifts.
Open the floor for an opinion.
Yes, Dorothy.
Are you crazy? I have better things to do than sitting by the phone waiting for a call from Steve.
Yeah, maybe that's not such a good
No
idea.
meeting can afford to lose its most precious commodity, the creative spark, the willingness to venture out of mental boxes and try new ideas. To safeguard your meeting's creativity, you may need to channel critical comments.
Why am I always the one to point that out?
Dorothy, let's hold off on the critical judgments. We're just brainstorming here. Also, since I'm facilitating this particular meeting, I'm going to dispense with formal procedures.
Every meeting has its own style. Someone will set it if you don't.
Looks like you have something else.
Well, I think this could benefit others. If fulfillment was alerted at the same time,
If your meeting is to elicit input from a variety of different perspectives, then you need to set a tone that encourages this.
it would help us direct traffic.
It's a good idea. Okay, we've heard from all the different departments except the one that might actually use this direct line. Steve?
Well, I appreciate the opportunity, Bob. I want us to pull back and get a fresh perspective. What is sales, really? I'll tell you what it is. It's a way to
Any
say
member's
what's
personal
new,
style may
to
work with
enrich
or
people's
against the direction you have planned for your
new
meeting.
products and
You're not
services
going to
around
change people,
It's
but you
also a
can
way
direct their
to contribute
energies.
in a
In
positive
fact,
way
as
to
team
people's
leader,
enjoyment of life.
it's your job.
Sales is a way of saying, hello, how can I assist you today? In addition to...
Okay, cut, stop, pull over. I'm sold, Steve. Now I remember why you're one of the top salespeople. But tell me this, would this direct line really be of value to the reps?
The first thing a rep is going to look for is, can I make more sales?
Most of all,
Yes.
by being open to the ideas of others and supporting them, you remind everyone that they are a team and that the goals of the meeting are their goals as well.
I think the hotline could be a real asset to all of us.
Bob, can I say something?
Of course, Dorothy.
Well, I may be wrong. I think we should adopt Sam and Leslie's hotline idea. But for a trial period, of course.
Let the record reflect Dorothy's support for the hotline and our support for Dorothy. In fact, for all of us. Good work. Now let's try and iron out some of the details. Turn to your agenda, page 2.
I think
See you later.
Okay.
Everybody.
Running a good meeting may be some of the hardest work we have to do. First, recognize a meeting for what it is, an investment. Second, make sure the meeting is absolutely necessary. If so, then prepare thoroughly. Then, and only then, call your meeting and make sure it stays on track. If you do, your meeting will remain viable, productive, and above all, theft-proof.